Welcome back, everyone. I don't know how long it's been, but this is what's coming up for you this week. It says patience. It's all about having laser focus on your destiny, okay? There's going to be a lot of things or a lot of times in your life that you've already experienced where you're going to be super inspired to do this, or you're going to have something that like really makes you feel like, oh, I could do this, I could be this is important to me. And then it just doesn't turn out the way that you want it to as fast as you want it to. Okay. And with that happening, what ends up showing up in your mind and your body and your feelings is like, well, I can't trust myself. I don't really know myself, or like this is not going to work. It brings up this energy of like, is it actually going to work? You need to really get in touch with yourself. You really need to establish that if you have something going on right now and it's something you want to do, a dream, a goal, a vision, something that you're working towards, and it's not going as fast as you want it to go, or that you just need to take a little bit more time with it, that's okay. That's a part of the process. Patience is not failure. So being vulnerable with yourself requires you to have patience with yourself. And you having patience with yourself does not come from someone else having patience or validating your experience. It comes from you validating your experience. Because you want to do something, that's enough for it to be right. Okay? There's this feeling of needing to think outside of the box. Okay? Don't just limit yourself. So sometimes people say like, oh, right now my dream is fill in the blank because I want to be able to take care of myself. That's really good. Your dream shouldn't be something like that. Your job can be like that. So you have like a short-term goal of like, I want to take care of myself, so I get this responsible job or something like that. That's fine. That's good. That's encouraged. But your overall dream shouldn't be something that diminishes your curiosity. Your overall dream is unrealistic. Your overall dream is delusional. And it is from pursuing that you find that space in between where reality comes to be. Sometimes that can sustain you financially. Other times it may not. Think about the whole concept of like a starving artist or something like that, where it's like you create something that is so beautiful and so amazing, but you can't afford it. So you spend all that time developing, this craft, but you can't afford it. So it lets you know in life you have to have balance. You may not have all the time in the world to develop to something because you need the time over here to be able to take care of yourself. You need to do that, to be able to take care of yourself. But also, there's such a huge swing going to the other side where people are just totally giving up on anything that is creative or anything that is too big. And they're making this area, their whole identity, and they're still miserable. They still don't feel like they have enough. They still feel like, they cannot buy enough. They cannot amass enough in order to feel better. So the extreme on this end is a problem, but the extreme on this end is also a problem. The starving artist to the sterile, just numb person also is a problem. So it is important that as you are building these dreams and these goals and stuff like that, that you actually dream, and you dream big, and be foolish, be delusional when you're dreaming of this stuff. But then in reality, yeah, it's not going to be like that, but the pursuit of it will get you close. The pursuit of it will actually get you to the feeling that you're feeling now in your imagination, with something that actually doesn't require as much. But pursue it, go in that direction, and pursue it, of course, responsibly. So it is not, go from this extreme to now that extreme. No, the extremes don't work. You got to find balance, but you got to shift back over, because when you're creative, when you enjoy what you're doing, when you're like, oh, I really want this, The stuff you have to do in your job or how you make money or how you take care of yourself, it becomes like, oh, there's a reason why I'm doing this. You'll complain less. You'll be grateful that you're able to do this, and you're like, this is just, it keeps the lights on. It keeps there having a door to go through. So that's completely fine. Just have that conversation with yourself. You need to get comfortable with yourself and familiar with yourself. And in this day and age of the internet and social media, there's all this overwhelming information that makes people not comfortable with themselves. They're looking for someone else to tell them how they are feeling in the moment. And often there is some type of paywall about how to get the answers to how to resolve what you're feeling. But no, you know how you're feeling. So you have to get really comfortable with yourself during this journey. You need to rediscover yourself. You need to connect with yourself in a way you ain't never connected before, whatever that is, and you will grow from that. Okay. And so the things that I'm, expressing that is coming through for you to do, it's not things that are so challenging externally, they're challenging internally. So many people get caught up so much on the external that they struggle in understanding how the internal can take a molehill and turn it into a mountain. Like, can take something that is just like, oh, I just got to do this today. Now you got so much anxiety, you can't even do it. So what is it? It's because we have to take inventory of the internal, and that shapes the external. So if you don't know who you are, you don't know if you're allowed to want what you want, if you are, too afraid to go after the big goals and stuff like that, it's going to turn the little tasks into things that are just excruciating, because you're like, well, why am I doing this or why am I doing that? So this is all a message to just let you know that it is very important for you to just tap into yourself, tap into your dreams, tap into your joy. And also, there is this void, okay? And the void has, it's dual. The void can be numbness. It can be nothing. It can be you're still, but still in a kind of way of like you're procrastinating, but you're just there, just letting life pass you by. The void can also be this really ambiguous area of creating and crafting who you want to be. There's no definedness. There's no definition. There's no definedness in there. There's no specific rules. So you can be whatever you want. So there's no one to give you structure or directions. So you might feel aimless, but also that means this is a space where you can be whatever you want to be. So it is all in your perception and how you choose to move forward in that. So this is what this feels like for you. It's like a very no one, well, many people are trying to steal your mind or your attention, but it's not that there is this cohesive one way that everyone, on a global level is saying, be this. There's a lot of little be this, be that, be this, be that. But when you step outside of that and you just live in that space, you can't, first of all, nothing happens, like the world doesn't implode because you step out of that and live in this space. But also at the same time, you then have the power to be anything or nothing. And it is actually okay to choose to be nothing, but you should choose to be it, not like you're just patiently waiting and just watching your life go by. Like if you want to choose to just chill, that should be a choice. So you get to choose what you want to do and what you want to shape. And this is actually such a powerful time for you in your life, because when else will you be able to do this at this time where you're at with the knowledge that you have? There's going to be things that you can build and grow today that when you look into the future, you're going to be like, I'm glad I did that. Because when you're in the future, if you don't do it, you turn back and you're like, wow, I had all of that at my disposal and I didn't do it. And then sometimes what ends up happening is you get to the future and you get caught up and you're trying to do that stuff there, but now it's a new terrain. Okay, whatever it is that you can do now, do it. Put it together. Start making it tangible for yourself. Make it deliverable tasks. And you can have multiple things going on at the same time. Like you can have things that help you with your financial security, the way you spend your money, how you communicate about money. There's a lot of times where people actually can be in a decent financial situation to work towards whatever it is they want, but they are not ready to give up their lifestyle. And the lifestyle I'm talking about is not the lattes and avocado toast. The lifestyle might just be how you are in community with others if they go out and they spend money. And sometimes people have money and they spend money, and other times you can be in entire friendship groups where people don't have money and they're just irresponsible with their money. You could be irresponsible with your money when you have money, and you could be irresponsible with your money when you don't have money. Okay? So that also means that you have to decide how you communicate about those things. Like that's a financial situation. So you might have to say no to things. You might have to say no to things that don't work. Like, for example, maybe your thing is drinking. You like to drink. Drinking is expensive. Okay? Maybe you like to imbibe in other ways. It's expensive, so you curtail that maybe for better financial opportunities. Maybe you're one of those people where you're like, it's not something like that. Maybe it's something smaller where it's just like you eat out a lot, and maybe you don't eat expensive stuff. Maybe you eat fast food. Fast food is actually pricey nowadays, but maybe you eat fast food or something like that, or fast casual like the Chipotle and stuff. But that stuff adds up. $15 for a bowl. $15 for a bowl. If you learn how to cook for that $15, you could make like 5 bowls. You really could. Now, actually, we're going to have to up the budget because of inflation. So maybe for $20, you can make 5 bowls. But most of that stuff, like, yeah. So just for things like that, you can have the life that you want, the dreams, the goals, and you can do it from wherever you're at, financially, emotionally, wherever you're at, well-being wise. But you have to take the time to think about how to get there. It might also be a well-being thing where it's like, hey, I have all these things that I want to do, but I'm overwhelmed. Like the littlest task just creates so much anxiety. That is fair. Take a step back. What do you need to let go of? Well, I can't let go of anything. You can. No, I can't. Yes, you can. Well, I can't let go of certain people or something. Okay. I can't let go of my job. Okay. Well, what can you let go of? Oh, I can't let go of anything. You can let go of your social media. And I know that's kind of like a big contradiction, but like, yeah, you can let go. You just the mindless scrolling and stuff, it doesn't help. It doesn't, if you're telling me that there's things in your everyday life that are tangible and real that you can't let go of, this is something you can't, oh, it makes me feel better. Okay, yeah. There are, channels and pages that make you feel better. So only go on there and look at that. You can't do like the mindless thing. Oh, I don't want to think. I understand. Listen to some rain noise, like I get it, but that's not healthy. It's not, if you are too overwhelmed and you're getting a lot of anxiety from just everything going on, you need less stimulation. That's actually not solving your problem. You need to take a step back. So yeah, it'll be uncomfortable a little bit, but yeah, take a step back. How about your diet? I know that people kind of get caught up when you talk about like diet in 2 ways. Either like it is like kind of this like fat phobia kind of world of like, you need to be super skinny, or you need to be super this or that, or, whatever. Or it's on the other side of you're trying to hack the future. You're trying to hack your well-being, You don't give up on anything else, any of these other stressors, but then you're like, you hack your diet. No, when I say diet, I mean like, what are the things that are causing you inflammation? And everyday stress can also cause you inflammation. But also, what are you eating? Like, are you eating a bunch of junk food? Just eat actual like like whole vegetables and fruits and stuff like that. Like, you can eat things that are tasty, but maybe just take the process out. And when you eat like that, it actually becomes cheaper. It does require you to learn how to maybe warm things up, but there's a lot of things you can actually make in the microwave, to be honest with you, or to very simply, if you have a stove, you're able to make things, that aren't too complicated. But stop eating the processed stuff. Be more mindful. Just eat a whole meal. You don't have to be snacking all day. Those things can help you too. Are you ready to give that up? So there's so many ways that people can. For that example, it's kind of like anxiety thing. And that's not to reduce someone who has some type of anxiety disorder, or somebody who is really struggling with some mental health support and things like that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if you are overwhelmed by just trying to go after your goals, and you feel like it is possible, or if you lived at a time in your life where you weren't as overwhelmed, maybe you need to let go of some things that are overstimulating you. And even though you're putting a bandage on, the things you can't control, with things that are still overstimulating you but make you feel a little bit better, give you the dopamine, fix or whatever, you do have to take a step back, let it go. Go sit outside, go walk around, go sit on the grass, go people watch. It might be boring, but it's more natural to us to be, we get that stimulation, but we're not constantly being pulled in, because you got to think about it. Online has been strategically mastered to pull our attention in, to make us crave. When you just go sit outside, it's like, oh, that's interesting. It's low sensory, but you get to still not be bored, And honestly, don't be sad about being bored, because sometimes being bored, you'll come up with amazing things. That's when your curiosity is at the height. We wonder why kids today struggle with like thinking outside of the box. They're never bored to do that. Adults are the same way. They're becoming less and less bored. Sometimes that boredom makes things more interesting. Anyway, that's what's coming up for you this week. Take what you need, leave what you don't. Enjoy your life and really go after your dreams and goals, because you can make it happen, and it's worth making it happen. Okay, bye.